Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew, and this is Learn the Lingo. Welcome to Lesson 73 of Hebrew Basics, a series where we learn the essentials of Hebrew grammar. So far in this series, we've learned 5 of the 7 binyanim, or verb structures. We've learned the 3 active binyanim, the basic kal or pa'al, the intensive or causative pl, and the causative hifil. We also learned the passive counterparts of the pl and the hifil, the pual and the hofal. Today, we are going to learn the passive counterpart of the kal, which is called the nifal. I've saved this passive binyan for last because unlike the pual and the hofal, the nifal has more uses than just being the passive version of the kal. Another difference it has from the other passive binyanim is that the nifal is formed in all 5 tenses: past, present, future, plus the infinitive and imperative. What we're going to learn today is how to use the nifal as the passive counterpart to the kal, and how to form its infinitive and present tense. Let's take a kal verb, lichtov. This is an infinitive from the root kaf tav bet, and means to write. That means if we put this root in the nifal binyan, it will have a meaning of being written. Let's make the nifal infinitive, to be written. This will begin with a lamed with shva, that means to, followed by a hey with a hirek. Like the hifil, some forms of the nifal will have a hey before the root letters. After the hey, we'll put the first root letter kaf. In nifal infinitives, this first root letter should have a dagesh if possible, and its vowel will be a kamatz. Then we'll have the second root letter tav with tsere, and end with the third root letter bet. Lahikatev, to be written. Today, let's also learn how to make the nifal present tense. Of course, we'll begin with the masculine singular form, which is the simplest since it has no special ending added. In the nifal, the present tense begins with a nun prefix, which has a hirek. Then we'll have the first root letter kaf with a shva. In the nifal tenses that have nun prefixes, this first root letter will not have a dagesh, while those that do not have a nun prefix, like the infinitive lahikatev, will have a dagesh. We'll then have the second root letter tav with a kamatz, and end with the third root letter. Nichtav is written in masculine singular form. The other 3 forms of the nifal present tense are formed the same way they are in the other passive binyanim, the pual and hofal. The masculine and feminine plural forms take the masculine singular form nichtav, change no vowels, and add the masculine im ending for nichtavim, are written in masculine plural form, or the feminine ot ending for nichtavot, are written in feminine plural form. The feminine singular form does change one of nichtav's vowels, specifically the kamatz, to a segol, and also adds an et ending. Nichtevet is written in feminine singular form. Let's see another root that we can use in the kal and the nifal, shin bet resh. We've learned this root before in the kal. It makes the verb lishvor, to break. That means when we use it in the nifal, it has the passive meaning being broken. The infinitive, to be broken, will start with a lamed with shva and hey with hirek. Then we'll have the first root letter shin with kamatz, second root letter bet with tsere and no dagesh, and third root letter resh. Lahishaver, to be broken. The masculine singular form of the present tense is broken will have a nun with hirek as its prefix, first root letter shin with shva, second root letter bet, this time with dagesh and kamatz, and third root letter resh. Nishbar is broken in masculine singular form. Nifal verbs with nun prefixes will have a dagesh in the second root letter if the letter sound changes, as in nishbar with ba, but not in the first root letter, as in nichtav, is written. That's the opposite of nifal verbs that don't have a nun prefix. Those have a dagesh in the first letter if necessary, lahikatev, to be written, and not in the second root letter, as in lahishaver, to be broken, with v. The other present tense forms are made from the masculine singular nishbar. hu nishbar, it is broken in masculine form. He nishberet, it is broken in feminine form. Hem nishbarim, they are broken in masculine form. And hen nishbarot, they are broken in feminine form. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and share. And if you want to learn more Hebrew, please consider subscribing to my channel and checking out some of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.